Hi everyone, welcome to my garden. Right now in most areas, the garden is bursting into life and undergoing the most important transformation of the year. It's called spring. Today I'm going to share with you April must-do garden tasks so you take full advantage of the season and don't miss out on this window of opportunity for your garden. The number one must-do garden task in April is to harden off or transition your vegetable seedlings from growing indoors to growing outdoors. And this is a process that must be done gradually over about a week or so that your vegetables are well prepared to face the outdoor elements. Now it's a super easy process to do. You want to start about a week before you're going to plant them outside after your last frost date. The first day you just put them outside for about an hour or so just to get them used to being outdoors, place them in the shade, and then put them back inside under grow lights. The second day you want to place them in the sunlight for an hour or two, back inside under grow lights. Then days 3 through 7, you just repeat this process, gradually extending the time that they're in the sun until they're outside all day long and overnight. At that point, they're ready to plant outside in your vegetable garden. Number two must-do garden task in April is to divide your perennial herbs. The easiest one to start with is chives, and you really want to do this month to make the most of the beginning of the growing season. Now, chives here grow in clumps, and you can see how many chives are in this clump. This has been growing here for a couple of years. So you can easily dig up your chives and divide each one of these into a separate plant. So you have plants to give away, and so you have an endless supply of chives. So you just dig up your chives, separate the little bulbs, and then pop them each individually in a container or spread them out here in your garden bed. Now, if you don't have any chives planted, I highly recommend you plant some from seed. They're one of the very easiest herbs to grow and probably the herb I use the most. You can plant seeds directly in your garden bed or in containers. They're so easy. Just sprinkle a few, and they are a really good cool weather herb, but they also grow very well in the warmer weather of summer as long as they're well established. And when they bloom, they also bring in their pollinators like crazy. So if you don't have space for an herb garden, just pop a container on your railing or on your patio. Number three must do in April is start your pollinator garden. That way it's blooming in the early summer to bring in the pollinators when your vegetables start to produce, so you can harvest more. Now, some of my favorite pollinator flowers are nasturtiums. Get them planted in the early spring because they don't like temperatures over 80 degrees. They bring in the pollinators like crazy. And a couple of my other favorites are zinnias, sunflowers, and wildflowers. And one reason why I like these is because they have a very long bloom time. You can trim them back. They keep on blooming time after time all throughout the summer, so you have plenty of pollinators in your garden, and they're very easy to grow and bloom very, very quickly. All of these flowers are warm weather flowers and will thrive in temperatures over 75 on up to 95 degrees. So wait to start them in your garden until after your last frost date, or you can start seeds indoors and get them planted outside after your last frost date. I have seed collections for all of them over on our website. Number four April must-do garden task is to start your power producers, the beans, squash, and cucumbers. I like to call these power producers because they produce a ton of veggies and they produce them fast. You can start them from seed indoors about 4 weeks before your last frost date, or start them outdoors right in your garden beds or in little containers on your deck or patio. Here I've got some scarlet runner beans, which we just planted on our April must plant veggies. The little seeds here that we planted just a week ago are already busting through the soil. So if it's over 60 degrees where you live, you can plant them right outside in your garden beds. Or if your garden beds are full, you can start them from seed on your deck or your patio and skip the hardening off step altogether. Just pop little seeds here in cow pots or 6-packs or even directly in your containers. Now they may take just a little bit longer to germinate if you start them outside, because remember, the nights are still a little bit chilly, but it helps you to be able to skip the hardening off step. But if you haven't reached your last frost date, just start them from seed indoors about 4 weeks ahead of your last frost date, then pop them outside in your garden as soon as your frost date is passed. But definitely get them started this month in April so you can take advantage of the warmer weather and get some earlier harvests. Number five must do in April is to protect your tender young seedlings from the cold. April weather can be up and down, and the temperature swings from night to day can be as much as 20 to 30 degrees. So when it's under 40 degrees, super important that you're protecting your warm weather veggies. Now, guess what's under here? Got my easy cold protection, which is a 5-gallon bucket, and underneath I've got a tomato, and it's not going to do too well in 40 to 35 degree nights. So at nighttime, I'm just going to pop it under this bucket to give it a little bit of extra protection, to give it some time to get its roots established, then put a nice heavy rock on top so it doesn't blow over in the wind. Make sure that you take the cover off during the day once the sun comes out so your plant doesn't get overheated. Not only do you want to provide cold protection for your tender young seedlings that you just planted, but also heat protection for any of your cooler vegetables that you still have in your spring garden. So here we've got cabbage, cauliflower, peas, and cilantro. All of these will bolt once it gets over 80 degrees. So on those 75 or 80 degree days, I keep a piece of shade cloth clipped to my garden bed here so I can quickly and easily cover them to protect them from the sun, which will extend their harvest, so you'll get more cool weather vegetables here in April. I want to challenge you, get these must-do tasks done in April. Don't miss out on the season. I know you're going to be really glad that you did. Thanks for watching. See you next time in the garden.